1964 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Join the movement. Listen to The Tori Lowe Show on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Microsoft is planning to open a 3rd data center in southeast Wisconsin. The development, known as Project Nova, would be a data center located near the We Energies power plant in Oak Creek. Microsoft representatives say so far there is no design for the facility and the project is in the early stages. The company is requesting rezoning approval from the Caledonia Village Board to move the project forward. The Caledonia Plan Commission will likely discuss the project at its meeting next week. A Milwaukee Sport Association makes history. The Milwaukee Tennis Classic is the first college tennis tournament in the country to secure NIL agreements. President-elect Christina Gilbertson says this about their 3 ambassadors.
They all played high school tennis in Wisconsin and either play college tennis or have commitments to play college tennis. We're really experimenting this year with it. We just held an event at Burkhart Sporting Goods over the weekend where we held a serving competition for young kids with our NIL ambassadors.
Milwaukee Tennis Classic celebrates its 49th annual tournament this weekend. Access to abortions in Wisconsin will go on hold next month. Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin will be pausing abortions in the state starting October 1st. The reasoning for the pause comes as the federal government signed spending bill deprives Planned Parenthood and Medicaid members of funding. As the pause takes place, the organization will review how to move forward with operations as funds become limited. Planned Parenthood serves over 50,000 people across Wisconsin, about 60% of whom are covered by Medicaid. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It has been, I believe, it has been a great day. Lots of things have broken today, so we've got a lot to get into today. Want to say thank you and welcome for being here. So Wisconsin test scores are out. It came out. And remember the other day, Dr. Jill Underly was pontificating about how she hated all these things that are going on in federal funding and all that, which has absolutely nothing to do with test scores in Wisconsin because she's the highest elected education official, the highest official education, whatever. So JS Online has a story about test scores. Article is written by Kayla Huynh, Huynh. My apologies if I say that name incorrectly. What's the basic point of the story? What's the lowdown? Math and reading scores for Wisconsin students in grades 3 through 8 have remained stagnant over the last 2 years. You got less students. Same money, a little more money, same outcome? I don't know. Just over half the students statewide met or exceeded grade level standards in both math and English language arts, and significant achievement gaps persist between white students and students of color. Who are students of color? Oh, that's everybody else. As well as between higher and lower income students. And I think if you stratify it and remove color, I think you might find a greater, I'm going on, assumptions, that if you stratify a higher, if you remove race and just look at higher and lower income and then look at race, I think what you might find is there's a more significant gap based on income than there is race. Recently released results from the state's forward exams show math and reading scores among Wisconsin's 3rd through 8th grade students are kind of, not going anywhere. The results were about the same in the 2023-2024 school year, with public school students' performance on the reading portion of the exam improving by less than a percentage point. Disparities in achievement also remain among students of colors and students from lower income families. Shocking. Anyway, the data released September 25th, which was, today, marks the first time districts and parents can draw year-to-year comparisons after the Department of Public Instruction's overhaul of the exam scoring standards 2 years ago. So you gave us access, but the access is watered down and you use softer words, so people think their kids are learning, and your test scores are showing they are not. Well, they're calculated so differently. State Superintendent Jill Underly previously said the original benchmarks were an extremely high standard to meet. Who in education says that? Who wants to educate children actually says, well, the standard's too high? Even so, going on with the article, the change drew criticism from lawmakers and advocates who said the move lowered expectations for achievement and made it more difficult to measure a student's progress because you use such flowery words, you can't understand exactly what it is the child didn't do. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it even? Give them a grade. We understand that. In a statement today, she said test scores represent a snapshot from a single day and are only one piece of the puzzle. What other puzzle pieces are there? What other puzzle pieces have to go with you having a year to train up students to read, to write, and do arithmetic. And then when they're average, the same way they were last year or below, you have the audacity to say it's just a snapshot, then why do you have the test? Why do you, well, the state law says and federal law says we gotta, I get it. The results, she said, remind us why it's so important to support the whole child and ensure every Wisconsin student has access to strong, caring educators. So what I'm hearing you say is that they don't have access to strong, caring educators, that you're not doing like it's not your job to treat the whole child and support the whole child. It's your job to educate the child. Do what you're supposed to do, Jill Underly. Nearly 52% of 3rd through 8th grade students were considered proficient in English language arts in the 2024-2025 year compared to 51%. That ain't much of a change. About 46% scored below level expectations in English language arts, and you were born and raised here. And you can't speak, you can't read and understand your home language. 12.3% of students scored advanced compared to grade level standards. 39.3% of students were meeting grade level expectations, and 28.8% were approaching. What does that even mean? Like, I don't even know what that means. 17.3% of students were still developing skills needed to meet the expectations, and 2.3% didn't take the test. Approaching, see, this is the nonsense language that she switched it to so that you can't just show the child is not meeting expectation, right? As it relates to math, if I'm not mistaken, reading, not math, reading, you're supposed to read 2 grade levels above where you are. So if you're in 3rd grade, you should be reading at a 5th grade level or higher. If you're meeting grade level expectations, what is that? Is that you're in 3rd grade and you're reading at a 3rd grade level? Or are you in 3rd grade and you're reading at a 5th grade level? And then the question is, why won't you tell us? Because they say you won't understand because you're not a certified teacher. So once again, we go through this nonsense. Once again, we spend money hand over fist in Wisconsin to have our children learn, and we get the test scores back. And I don't understand why, but if you read the test score, Wisconsin test scores, they flatter than day-old beer.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Talk to these people in terms of, how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person, depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the first-time home buyer education workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in Friday night as the Hilltoppers take on the Sussex Hamilton Chargers on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Family needing a getaway? Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells has everything you want, right on the Wisconsin River. Splash into new surrealistic water park fun with Rainbow Rapids. Try new dual zipline racing at Chula's Aerial Adventure Park. New thrills like the towering 200-foot bungee ejection ride, plus $20 million in lodging renovations, 18 holes of challenging golf, all on site. Check it all out at chulavistaresort.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to jump right quick. I'm here, remember, gone, but not forgotten. Hello, Dr. Ken. What's up? Miles here. RN Kawanda is here. Wow. Kawanda said, I see he finally cut all the facial and hair on his head. No glare from the fuzzy. Excuse me, I have hair. There is hair here. I'm just saying. I am not bald. It's very, very low, but I'm not bald. Goodness. Are you popping off today, Dr. Ken, since this is your Friday? Probably. Mal, you kind of got me right. What's up, Curly Q? See, everybody's here. So I may as well get moving. I may as well just start in, right? Just start in. So, story in JS Online, people are still upset at MATC. They're still upset on their decision to cut jobs in response to Trump administration DEI policies. So, help me out. I have a question. All right? So the story goes, and the story was published today, JS Online. As a new Milwaukee Area Technical College student in 2012, Matthew Bennett felt out of place. Then one day, someone offered him a smudging. It's an indigenous ceremony that typically involves guiding the smoke of burning sage around the body to get rid of bad energy. I can't tell you what a warm feeling that was, Bennett said. He attributes the presence of Native culture at MATC to the Office of Multicultural Services. Like generations of students, he said he grew close to its staff and felt welcome, especially through smudging ceremonies and talking circles. So they're writing the story in a way that instead of reporting it, they show a story that leans towards supporting the office not being closed. I don't think that's proper. Write what it is, write the reasoning why, because of specific race, specific service being targeted for elimination by the administration of President Donald Trump. That is what it says. That's what it is. That's what's happening. Last month, MATC renamed the office and eliminated 4 jobs to comply with new federal guidance. The employees' roles focused on supporting African American, American Indian, Hispanic, and Asian American students. And they said in via a spokesperson on the 22nd as to not jeopardize the critical funding needed to maintain operations and student aid at MATC. We sometimes have to make difficult decisions like restructuring the Multicultural Services Office. They stressed that services to students have not been reduced and that it created 2 new jobs within the newly named Office of Community Impact that recently cut staff can apply for. So at some point, you know, and then they go back and they talk about political climate and all this other stuff, right? We've had this political climate before. If you grew up in the since 1865 to 2025, you've lived in this political environment. You've had this political climate. We just pretended and called it something different, but it really isn't different. These are things that have to be done in order to receive money to support the students. MATC is not there for black students, white students, Hispanic, Asian, or American Indian students. They're there for the 3-letter word, all. Does it seem right? Maybe, maybe not. Is it unfortunate? Sure. But let's shore up those things, that the shortcomings that those students are feeling while they're at MATC, versus complaining about something that, if you probably look at their budget, didn't have a significant impact on their budget. The problem is the Trump administration is touching the entire budget and saying you lose significant amounts of money for other areas outside of DEI, outside of multicultural, because you have multicultural or DEI. So what would you expect an administrator to do of any race? What would you expect them to do? Nope. I'm going to die on this hill, and I'm going to lose federal funding for education and tax dollars that are paid for by the residents of Milwaukee area, and we'll just die. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. It's a tough decision. They were 100% correct in making that tough decision. However, in the end, if you need help with academics, people are there to help with academics. What happened during the day when your teacher was just your teacher? Like, what is that? Yes, we have a new generation in. Yes, we have all the changes, and, you know, we get it. And we're coming up with what I like to call excuses for different generations, when in fact they're just different. But at some point, you still got to put in the work. The system isn't going to change because you decided you're different. And the system shouldn't change. That is the system we have in America that we call education. And it just is what it is. And so your support should come helping you get through courses, get through school, get through issues you have in class versus worrying about the differences. Now, I get it. Being a black male and growing up in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, I get we had some significant issues. I watched the growth and expansion of Black America in the 90s. I watched the ability to get jobs and go to schools and all those things. And we do have systems in place, people and systems in place that cause black people to struggle, block the way, come up with policies that only serve a certain population of people. We also had a group of Black Americans, African Americans, who were able to overcome it, make it through school, and do what they needed to do. So my question is, why can't it be so today? Why can't students hear and react to something they don't like or hear as we did? We had less than you, not more. We had less information, not more. So why can't students today in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, why are they struggling? And it's not a generational thing because you have access to more resources than we ever had. But yet there's a bigger struggle. And I don't understand it. For the life of me. I struggle with that. Because it sounds like I'm being insensitive and I don't understand exactly what's going on. But I actually do. I do understand because I've struggled. Do we need parenting classes? I don't know. Do we need to give out a license to get married? I mean, we do, but I mean a class. Okay, you got a 6-month class on marriage and kids. And in order to get married, you got to attend the class and get a certificate. I don't know. But at some point, all of this trickles down to what our children are learning, and the scores in the state of Wisconsin are flat. So if Wisconsin is flat, I can only imagine what Milwaukee looks like. If Wisconsin is not doing a great job, then I can only wonder what's happening in the Milwaukee Public School. And you can't blame the current superintendent because she wasn't there. You can't blame her for what's happening in the scores that we have today. We're going to have to take a hard look at how and why we support the things that we do and we don't get an outcome that we're supposed to get, and people are okay with it. For the life of me, I just don't understand that. Your thoughts, 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm just perplexed. Totally and utterly perplexed. Oh well. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Westbound 894 is slowing down from Loomis all the way into the Hale interchange. It's going to be just basically slow. We've also got southbound on the bypass slowing down from the Zoo interchange down to Lincoln, back on the brakes from Beloit Road into the Hale. Now, eastbound 94, that's got some backups to it. It's about 84th Street all the way to 35th. Westbound, you're slowing down from about 20th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. Another quick tap of the brakes crossing over into Waukesha County past Elm Grove Road. Southbound on 41, backing up from just south of Main Street to Good Hope Road, and then again from Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. Northbound slow from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 57. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas, or visit mso.org.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive on collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Brewers snapped their road losing streak, beating the San Diego Padres Wednesday 3-1.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Brewers salvage a game out of this series, and they have tied a franchise record with their 96th win of the season.
The win also reduced the magic number to 1 over Philadelphia for clinching the best record in the majors and home field advantage throughout the postseason. The Brewers host their final regular season series against the Cincinnati Reds beginning tomorrow at 7:10 p.m. And tonight on Thursday Night Football, the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks travel to the 2-1 Arizona Cardinals. Kickoff is at 7:15 p.m. tonight on Amazon Prime. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to remind you of just two things. Quickly, you can stream and watch us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of a live show. And The Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School Championship football. We have a great matchup for you tomorrow night as the Marquette High Hilltoppers go on the road to take on conference rival Sussex Hamilton Chargers. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Friday Night Football on The Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before I get to my next topic, let me see what y'all doing on the talking text line. Sometimes y'all be positive, and then sometimes be like, Demetri said, by the way, how are you doing, doctor? It's really not her responsibility. I'm talking about the MPS superintendent, Dr. Brenda Caselius. It's really not her. responsibility. She already has enough on her plate, especially as MPS superintendent. It is her responsibility. Next year, what they do this year will be reflected on what they do next year. So yeah, it's kind of her responsibility. You're not being insensitive. You're not being tough and critical enough. Well, how do I say this? People have a right to be wrong, but if you break it, you have to give them a chance to fix it. You can't just get rid of somebody, fire somebody, bounce somebody out the door, reprimand somebody, suspend them without really understanding and creating an avenue for them to be able to fix what they broke. You can't. And then it says we must have saw the same post. I'll talk about something else. Hey, what's up, LT? LT said, Dr. Ken, when was the last time you went fishing? Wow. That's long. Pre-COVID. It had to have been pre-COVID because I don't remember going fishing between COVID and now. So, last time I went fishing. The last time I played golf. That's a good question. It's been quite a while. Like quite a long while since I went fishing. I'm not a fisher. I'm gonna tell you now. I don't like fishing. Really took that long. I had to look at my phone. I thought the system went down. Well, here's the kicker, and I'm gonna repeat it like I did before. I'm a profound stutterer. And when I say profound, I mean you can't get words out because you're stuttering, and it might take me like 5 minutes to get like one sentence out. That kind of bad stuttering. And so what I learned as a child is I had a therapist who taught me how to breathe. And sometimes I have to either hold my breath and get everything out, which is sometimes you'll hear me at the end of me talking, I'll be winded, even when it's something simple to say. But the pauses is because I'm thinking so fast that my mouth literally can't move fast enough to get the words out. And I mean at a normal pace. And so I have to pause to kind of let them speed up and get in sync again and then go. Because I can see the word, I know what I'm going to say, but I have to pause to wait for it to go. And it usually takes about a half second or maybe a second or two. That's what that is. If you can think quiet and my brain's running at 186,000 miles per second, speed of light, I like that's how it's going. And so every now and then I'll get a pause. And if I want to say something long, then I really have to pause so that I can then just say the whole thing and have enough breath and all that. And then somebody's like, hey, you know, it's just too much. It's too much information. Well, maybe it can help somebody else. Kwanda said, okay, and you're ADHD too, so should I give you a pass? A pass on what? I don't need a pass. If you need to holler about something or complain about something, complain. Okay, I'm done and listening now. No, absolutely. You want to complain about something, complain. I can take criticism like that. Remember, who was it? I forget his name, said I was arrogant and something. I know black men aren't used to being around confident men. They want to be the only ones there. But anyway, LT say I'm not a fisherman, but I think I'll go a few times next year. What? Why wouldn't you go now? You're going to wait till go ice fishing. I ain't never seen a black person ice fishing in my life. Ever. It's too cold. I'm just saying. Dimitri said, Dr. Harris, do you think MPS should implement math and reading activities for the children, both in the classroom and at home, to help improve math and reading scores? They already do. See, part of the issue for me in public schools is they have this thing that children can't. Oh, the poor little kid. No, they can't. When in fact, expectation is everything. If you have a teacher that you love, agape type, and a teacher that you respect, when they ask you to do homework and teach you some things you didn't know, you're going to grow if you have a good teacher. The problem in most public schools is that you have a system that protects bad teachers because the union just wants the union money. And they say they're protecting their members when, in fact, they're protecting bad teachers. They don't want anything that has to do with merit. They don't want to be held accountable for their jobs that they do. And the majority of them can not only do it, but they excel at it. We need to come to grips with how we used to in the past. Some kids don't learn like other kids. Some kids can't learn. But we know roughly 95% of them can. So then we should teach them. Come up with the resources. Quanda said, your boy Matthew said it. Yeah, he said it. Anyway, whatever. So it just comes down to how are we going to balance that? Unions in schools was probably the worst thing that was ever developed for schools. I think it's terrible. Not because you have the union, but because you can't get the bad teacher out. And then so what do you do? LT said, I think before I speak so I can analyze what I'm going to say. I don't know what that means, LT. Are you telling me to stop talking and like, I don't know. But anyway, getting back to Dimitri. So the activities you need for reading and math and all those things are already there. They're already basically there. We have to stop treating children the same. We have to stop looking at equity between children because one child is not like another child. Totally and utterly different. And so they learn different. They have different strengths, different weaknesses, all those things. Reading levels, math, all that. Let's put children where they belong. Teach them so we can bring them up. But instead, we go middle ground, we go bell curve, and everybody's in that 68%. Boop, they're the ones that get 68 or 64%, whatever it is. They get that, and that's it. And if you don't, too bad. And I think it's unconscionable. That's just me, though. We need to retool everything we do in public education. It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, when a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and the professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So let me ask you, when the government, and again, I'm doing the air quotes, tightens the belt, who's standing underneath the belt when it snaps back?
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't want you to agree. Honestly, should I be transparent? I don't really care if you agree. I, like you, want to be heard.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Been looking for answers, some kind of sign, a deeper meaning, but not much to find, except the sun in my face, and it feels right. Had gotten used to the silence of the night. The thought of your arms, I'm already safe.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. Amanda said, how is the teachers union, who you say protects bad teachers, any different from the police union that protects bad officers? So then, should we get rid of police union when we get ourselves rid of the teachers union? Well, there's a distinct difference in the two. Here's why. Whether or not the teachers union, whether or not the police union represents you or not, if you commit a crime, you're going to get charged. And there's nothing the police union can do about it. That's the district attorney's office. So you're still held under a microscope, and you're still charged if you're charged. Now, if they think you did it within the color, under the color of the law, which means if you did it within rules and procedures in your position, then they may be the lawyer for you or get a lawyer for you, but that's it. If you get found guilty, you're guilty. They don't dictate whether or not you're charged. They don't dictate whether or not you're fired. You would still have to go in front of the Fire and Police Commission, go in front of City Council, go wherever you need to go, police, internal affairs, all that. There are multiple systems in place where you can get anything from an official reprimand to fired without ever going to court or ever going to the Fire and Police Commission. Teachers? If you're not a good teacher, but you're they find it's. When was the last time you heard of a teacher who actually didn't commit a crime, but was actually a bad teacher that got fired publicly? That's an HR matter, and we don't discuss HR matters. Okay. They have to do something. They have to commit sexual assault of a child or say or do something they're not supposed to, right? It has to be, in other words, it has to be egregious. But if you're an actual bad teacher, listen, I've written up many a cop that was a bad cop. And eventually, a number of them got let go. Like they were told, hey, you're relieved of duty. You got to go. It's not working. Got to go. I've seen that. When was the last time you saw a teacher actually get rid of because she was bad teaching? Ever? I mean, I'm sure it's happened before. I'm sure it's happened. But I understand your point, Ann. I get it. But it's not an either or. It is literally also and. There's some things that the union does, like arguing for a contract that is going to basically destroy the tax base in Milwaukee. Everybody's struggling. And you get access to overtime when you get it. Fix that. Fix sick time. Fix overtime. Fix like all the things you could fix in the union contract and all the things you get cops and firefighters. Fix that. The problem is you won't have anybody there. Because they chose, like I said yesterday, they chose that too. The union has nothing to do with bad cops. I've watched the union let cops get charged. Hey, we're not touching that. That's on you. See ya. And there's nothing you can do. I've seen that happen while I was a police officer, after I was a police officer. So I get it. I get exactly what you're saying, Amanda, but it's not that simple. When was the last time you've ever heard of a teacher get let go because she was a bad teacher? Because her scores were bad, because the kids in her school aren't learning. Who gets to keep that kind of job but somebody that makes movies? Making like 5 bad movies in a row, get paid for all of them, still go. So I'm just saying. I get it. I understand what you're saying. Mari said, Dr. Ken, what is your line in the sand regarding administration withholding funds for colleges? What would they do that would make you say, nope, the school needs to fight that? Well, let me think about that. Y'all keep throwing me these deep questions right before top 5 at 5. Oh, let me go back. Daniel, the song was called Love Again by Alex Isley. She's one of the Isley brothers' daughter. And she put out an album, and it's called Love Again. That's the name of the cut. So make sure you check it out. Okay, now back to Talking Text Line. I'm just reading it again. Withholding funds to colleges. Well, it depends. Everybody withholds and gives money for different reasons. Democratic Party gives money to buy your vote. Republican take it away to stop your vote. I mean, it's the same political nonsense, right? I don't really care because I say we take care of our own. Let's make sure our HBCUs are up and running and are funded, and we wouldn't have to be worrying about this nonsense. But the Trump administration already knows, and that's why they've given HBCUs a significant increase in amount of money, is because you can't go to an HBCU and tell them they can't have anything race-based because it's an HBCU. So I say let's build out our HBCUs and not worry about them withholding funding to colleges. Now, the other thing is you need to wean yourself off, because there are a number of colleges that don't receive federal financial aid. They have a lot of people who give. They have a lot of scholarships. They have a lot of things like that, right? And they have an endowment fund. So I get that. Black people need to do the same. I mean, there's no other way around it. That's what black people need to do. That's all we need to do. Stop worrying about all the nonsense that other people are doing and just take care of us. We spend so much time fighting other people to stop what they're doing that we're not doing anything. And that's just weird to me. Yeah. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, good evening. I hope all is well. I have a great question for you. I know a lot of times you talk about building generational wealth in families. Do you feel some of those family members who are disconnected, detached, unattached, don't want no type of attachment to their mother or father houses or finances, if that family build generational wealth, do you feel those family members who didn't want to be connected in no way, shape, or form, but then when they get broke, them same family members, they don't want no attachment, they asking for money. Do you feel when that family build that generational wealth, the family who don't want to be attached, do you feel them family member and their grandchildren you should let rock, considering that neither of them talk to anybody of that family because they feel they're too good or they feel it's the matter of convenience?
I wouldn't say let them rot. First of all, children should not have to pay for the sins of their parents. So the grandchildren, depending on how they act and what they do, sure. But the parent, the person, let me answer your question. The person that actually did it and didn't want to have anything to do with the family, cut them off. No problem with it whatsoever.
Okay, that's what I was asked, because I be talking to a lot of seniors, and a lot of them have built a lot of great things for their family, but a lot of either the son or daughter, they don't want to be bothered, or the kids only call when they want some money, but they only seen their grandchildren maybe twice since they've been alive.
Well, wait a minute. Well, you got to take into account, grandmama probably did something that made the kids mad too. It's not one-sided. I know we talk about honor thy mothers and father all the days of their lives, but sometimes they use their life to kind of treat their kids bad. So I'm just saying.
Okay, well, what about if the grandmother or grandfather didn't do nothing wrong? They always spending money and sending money, but they barely get a thank you. How do you feel about that? Do you feel they should be cut out the will and they can go get it from the other family they talk to?
At some point, it doesn't matter whether you're good or not. Doesn't matter if you treat your parents well or not. If they don't want to give you their money, they're not. And it's their prerogative, and there's nothing you can do. All you need to do is make sure you take care of yours and create your own generational wealth so you can leave it to 2 to 3 generations later. So at some point.
Thank you so much.
Do you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a great day, by the way. Bye-bye.
All right, you too. 833-212-1017 is the number. I think I just felt the earth roll off its axis and come back because me and Al agreed. I'm just saying. Let me check one more time so I'm not going to get hollered at. Me and my friend are going to Newland. This is okay. Y'all doing stuff. You know, LT, do some black stuff. Okay? He's on the YouTube chat. Do some black stuff. Curly Q said, when is Superintendent coming back to the show? I have an invitation out there, and I'm waiting for her to show up. Not show up, but reply. It's in front of her folks, and so we're just waiting. It may be a little later than we planned, like maybe October, maybe a little later, maybe November. But we have definitely put out the invitation, and we hope to have her here. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 up next.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Come in with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still messing with the negative energy. Every day I get on and say, the power of the tongue. Your impulsive negative thoughts, reacting, and these kids watching you reacting all wild and crazy. The programming you watching on TV, the music. And now, like Security Mike said, it's popular to pop somebody. It's popular now. And these kids coming back to somebody's house. They coming to eat a meal at somebody's house. They hanging out with somebody in the neighborhood who got a house, who paying the rent. They hanging out with you. They may be your relative. They may be your buddy. That social acceptance is there. Understand what I'm saying? So when we really tired, we gonna cut it off. We gonna stop it.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Man,
fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Microsoft is planning to open a third data center in southeast Wisconsin. The development known as Project Nova would be a data center located near the We Energies power plant in Oak Creek. Microsoft representatives say so far there is no design for the facility and the project is in the early stages. The company is requesting rezoning approval from the Caledonia Village Board to move the project forward. The Caledonia Plan Commission will likely discuss the project at its meeting next week. A Milwaukee Sport Association makes history. The Milwaukee Tennis Classic is the first college tennis tournament in the country to secure NIL agreements. President-elect Christina Gilbertson says this about their 3 ambassadors.
They all played high school tennis in Wisconsin and either play college tennis or have commitments to play college tennis. We're really experimenting this year with it. We just held an event at Burkhardt Sporting Goods over the weekend where we held a serving competition for young kids with our NIL ambassadors.
Milwaukee Tennis Classic celebrates its 49th annual tournament this weekend. Access to abortions in Wisconsin will go on hold next month. Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin will be pausing abortions in the state starting October 1st. The reasoning for the pause comes as the federal government signed a spending bill deprives Planned Parenthood and Medicaid members of funding. As the pause takes place, the organization will review how to move forward with operations as funds become limited. Planned Parenthood serves over 50,000 people across Wisconsin, about 60% of whom are covered by Medicaid. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. There are so many stories that are popping up, breaking news and all that stuff. So, anyway, I'll tell you. Sometimes you don't know where to start, so every day I'm just going to start with a sports update.
Number 5.
This and the Brew Crew, you might have heard, Jackson Cheerio robbed Xander Bogaerts of a 3-run home run in the first inning, and Nick Mears got Luis Arraez to fly out to center to end the bases-loaded threat in the 7th as the NL Central Championship Milwaukee Brewers beat the playoff-bound San Diego Padres 3-1 today to avoid a 3-game sweep. But their record, which is equal to their club record of 96 wins, they're by the way, 96-63, reduced their magic number to 1 over Philadelphia for clinching the best record in the majors and home field advantage through the postseason. So I think they're doing pretty good. I'm a baseball fan. I know I'm weird. I'm a baseball fan. Growing up, that was the only thing that I could actually watch because at the time, football was played at Soldier Field and it was a dump at the time. Not that new metallic, I don't know what that is, a spaceship or something they got? I don't know. So, and yeah, it's all right. Hey, I was reading the news today, and on CNN Business, I found out that Amazon may have kind of stepped in it.
Number 4.
Amazon Business, they're a little bit in trouble. Amazon is paying a historic $2.5 billion settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, the agency announced, ending a 2-year dispute over allegations. Get this. The company tricked consumers into signing up for its Prime subscription service and then made it hard to cancel. As part of the agreement, Amazon will pay $1 billion civil penalty, provide $1.5 billion in refunds to an estimated 35 million customers that were harmed by their deceptive Prime enrollment practices. The agency said this is the largest civil penalty in a case involving a Federal Trade Commission rule violation. It's also the second highest restitution award obtained by the Federal Trade Commission. The settlement comes just days into a trial between the FTC and Amazon. The lawsuit was filed in 2023 under the Biden administration over the company's cancellation policies. So, I mean, Amazon and this is the Amazon spokesperson, Mark Blafkin, said in a statement, Amazon and our executives have always followed the law. Like, really? And this settlement allows us to move forward and focus on innovating our customers, innovating for customers. Yeah, like an innovatively hidden way to not be able to cancel your subscription because you made it too hard and hid it. Like places that say, in order to cancel your subscription, you have to call. I don't care if I want it, then it's the best thing in the world. I won't sign up for it. I won't. They say we work incredibly hard to make it clear and simple for customers to both sign up or cancel their membership and to offer substantial value for our many millions of loyal Prime members around the world. But you actually don't. You just paid a fine for not doing that. So, oh, they're talking about today. Oh, okay. Oh, I got that wrong. They're actually talking about today. Can you say dumb with a capital D?
Number 3.
In Caledonia, Wisconsin, we heard the story. Microsoft is proposing a new data center in Caledonia, Wisconsin, Racine County. It'd be the third one, if approved, but residents are concerned about its impact on the community. Let me rephrase that. Lori Chin, a Caledonia resident, said, "We didn't move here for big buildings and data centers and AI." She and her neighbors are worried that the proposed Microsoft data center could reshape the community's landscape and identity. You mean like people and lowering your tax base, maybe? I don't know. We're mad. We feel deceived. How could you be deceived if somebody comes in and says they want to build a 244-acre data center? What's deceiving about that? The proposal, still in its early stages, would require rezoning approval from the village board. If approved, the data center could house AI servers and computers on 244 acres of land near Douglas Avenue and County Line Road, across from the Oak Creek Power Plant. I don't understand what the problem is. You're worried about wetlands and the environment? With the money that they're going to bring in, they could probably build you a lake, and you could have all the wetlands and EPA you want. I'm just saying. But the money that's going to come into the area and the things you're going to be able to do, using your argument, environmentally, I think should substantially make up for the issue you're having. That's just me. They've got another hearing set for September 29th at Caledonia Village Hall at 6 p.m. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. And did you hear about the guy in California?
Number 2.
From thegrio.com, an innocent man who spent 38 years behind bars in California was awarded $25 million in what his lawyers called the largest wrongful conviction settlement in California state history. Their settlement was reached in August, according to court documents that were made public this past week. Maurice Hastings, 72 years old, convicted and sentenced to life without parole in connection to a 1983 sexual assault and murder of Roberta Whittemire, who was killed by a single gunshot to the head. The lawsuit accused 2 Inglewood Police Department officers and the Los Angeles District Attorney's investigator at the time of framing Hastings. He wrote in a statement, "No amount of money could ever restore the 38 years of my life that were stolen from me, but this settlement is a welcome end to a very long road, and I look forward to moving on with my life." Lawyers for the defendants and the spokesperson for the city of Inglewood did not respond to email requests, and other details of the settlement were not made public. The settlement comes after decades of legal battles where Hastings pled his innocence. At the time, the victim's autopsy, the coroner conducted a sexual assault examination, collected body fluids. Hastings sought DNA testing in 2000, but at the time, DA's office denied the request. Hastings submitted a claim of innocence to the DA's Conviction Integrity Unit, and DA testing found that the semen was not his. In 2022, he was 69. The conviction was vacated at the request of prosecutors and his lawyer. That's a shame. That is definitely a shame. But then there's a guy in Boston. So I don't know if you all remember this, because you probably wasn't alive. So in 1989, there was this incident that happened. And if you are maybe 50 and over, maybe 45, 50 and over, you remember this. So there was a guy, and the story, it angers me to this day. There was a guy who was driving with his wife. They left a birthing class, and said he got carjacked by a black guy in 1989. Carjacked. His wife got shot in the head, died the next day. Their baby delivered by cesarean section 17 days later. The white guy, Charles Stewart, who was also, white, was shot in the chest, but survived. He died jumping off a bridge a few months later. So why would he jump off a bridge? Well, here's what happened. Guy calls 911, driving in his BMW. He's in Boston. Oh, my God, I got carjacked. And what did he say in 1989? The magic words. It was a black guy. And, of course, all hell broke loose. In the interim, the case sparked a crackdown by police in a traditionally black neighborhood, heightened racial tensions in the city. They arrested Swanson before ruling him out and then took Bennett into custody. Stewart later identified Bennett as the suspect, but neither man had been formally charged in the case. Mayor Michelle Wu apologized in 2023 for this knucklehead guy. So what this guy did is he actually had his wife killed. Now, I don't remember exactly why. He must have had a boo thing on the side, but he had his wife killed. Got himself shot to make it look like it wasn't him. Well, months later, when his story fell apart, he jumped off a bridge and killed himself. So the problem is we assume that whenever somebody says, it was a black guy, it was instantly a black guy. Here's the problem. Bennett and Swanson, Bennett gets $100,000 and Swanson gets $50,000. That's it? Y'all need to go to federal court. Y'all need to go to federal court and go after that city. That makes absolutely no sense. And since we were already talking about the Milwaukee Public Schools, more changes on the way.
Number 1.
Milwaukee Public Schools is from CBS 58. Milwaukee Public School Superintendent Brenda Casalius offered new details about the district's long-term plans to close or merge low-enrollment schools across the state's largest district. I say happy, happy. Casalius also outlined the district's plans to change the way many MPS schools are structured, and she also shared an update about plans to create a new central safety hub. Casalius took questions from reporters as part of Milwaukee Press Club's Newsmaker series. In recent weeks, a hired outside consultant, Perkins Eastman, has shared its findings as MPS put together a long-term plan for its 156 buildings. Presentation last month to the district highlighted 5 or 6 schools as prime candidates to either close or merge based on enrollment, age, and the viability of surrounding schools. The buildings highlighted Our Street, Clark Street, Douglas, Hopkins Lloyd, Keefe Avenue, and Seaford. Casalius said yesterday that the conversation is just the start of what will be a difficult process. She said, I think it's going to be, over the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be much more than 5 schools, but I don't know what it looks like. I'm much more in favor of merging schools and repurposing the schools that are left behind. Well, Dr. Casalius, be very careful when you use the word repurpose, because if that means selling, the city's not going to go for it. Because the city might be bought and paid for by that same teachers union. So I'm just saying. I don't dislike teachers unions at all. I think they are a much needed entity that works for helping teachers and get their wages up and support them and get them the training they need and the protections. But when you protect bad teachers, that's the issue I have. I'm just saying. That's the problem I have with any union, police, fire, any union, if you protect bad people. 833-212-1017 is the number. Right now it's 69 degrees, 17 minutes after the hour. Tonight's low is about 58. Humidity's at 64%. Winds are from the southwest at about 6 miles an hour. And tomorrow, what's tomorrow going to be like? Oh, too many pop-up ads. Anyway, we'll get to that a little later. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
You know, it's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me hop on the talking text line right quick before I see I got Vincent on hold, so I don't want to make him wait too long. Weird thing about let me go back. Okay. Weird thing about liking baseball. Sincere said, when are we going to hear you sing? One day. Curly Q said, what's weird liking baseball? I'm a fan and my dad and I share the love of the game. I like to go to games together. I love baseball. Demetri said, Dr. Ken, did your mother or father get on you about good grammar and would correct you? My mother did and would make me read too, and it paid off. Did your parents make you read? My mother made me read. My father and mother divorced when I was 8 and he died when I was 11. But I was always
a voracious reader. My mother left comic books, newspapers, always encouraging us to read, bought us little books. I smoked through Dick and Jane. I smoked through, what was that guy? Grimm, Grimm's fairy tales. I smoked through like all that because I was a voracious reader. I just absolutely, positively loved to read. And then I learned how to write, and that got even worse. And then when you read and you write, and then you talk, it just got out of hand. and so I've always, if I can say that I've ever had a strength, those three things are the pretty much only things I do that good. Well, sincere, maybe singing, but in all honesty, though I have always loved it to the point where Sundays after church, we took my daughters to Barnes & Noble. And we literally sat downstairs and read and smoked, drank coffee, and did all sorts of things. But let them go upstairs into the children's section, and you can watch how they would rise through, put them in the children's section, but we found them in the teen section because they had to read books that were more complicated because they were better readers. And they've always been great readers, great writers. So it kind of paid off. Got to thank my mother for it. I didn't figure it out till later when she did it that way. So yeah, she did it great. She did a good job. I've been waiting on my refund because I put in a complaint. Are you talking about with Amazon? Because I pay for Prime, but they deliver my things when they want and not the next day that I'm paying for. I don't know where you live, but I don't know. Sometimes I get my stuff like the same day, which is kind of weird to me. So was this sitting on a shelf somewhere and it was like, collecting dust and said, "Hey, Dr. Ken, here it is." Speaking of me collecting dust, Vincent, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Yeah, I like dusting out them oldies.
Okay. I need you to do me a favor, Vincent. You ready?
Go ahead.
Say,
Go ahead.
Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Okay. Repeat after me. Tylenol.
Tylenol.
Hey, President Trump.
Hey, President Trump.
That was stupid.
That was stupid.
It was. I'm like, so the change isn't significantly different. Tylenol has the same issue that aspirin has. They tell pregnant women don't take aspirin, but you could take Tylenol.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think where people got tied up is the acetaminophen that Tylenol makes is not the acetaminophen that other people make. And so you shouldn't take acetaminophen or aspirin, if I understand it right. I'm not a medical doctor. But you can take Tylenol in limited doses. That was just dumb. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay, well, my public announcement is if you're a male that is able to produce children, I think you should not even look at, touch, or even take Tylenol. That's my public announcement.
Why is that?
Because the fact is...
Wait.
Well,
where's this coming from? Where is it coming from?
Well, this is coming from me. The fact is that how do they not know that the sperm from the male is producing autism? Because he took Tylenol, not the female.
Right.
So that's my public announcement.
Well, I don't know if that's worthy of a public announcement because there's no scientific proof. I think a combination is probably worse, but I think somebody needs to go back in and reread those studies and come up with, or even replicate it so that we can figure out what's going on.
Exactly, but I think it's unconscionable to go on national TV and spout this about do not take Tylenol and everything else, to blame women and physicians who support women's health and tell them that they did something wrong and they don't have any empirical evidence and to stand up there with
they have empirical evidence. They don't have statistically significant evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Now the flip side to that is men can't get pregnant, so I don't know if you could test that.
Well, I don't think they tested this theory that they came up with when they came out and made this announcement. And so what I'm saying is that the fact is we need somebody from the top because what happens is you put people in chaos. The fact is you put positions in bad positions.
Understand
you
something.
put women who are pregnant in a bad position.
Nobody listened to it. No medical doctor. They're not. Like, where's the big blow up because of it? Like, where's the, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, you don't have anybody saying that because everybody's like, no. And they moved on. Like, it's not worth the drama and the issue and dusting it up to make it something. And then somebody might actually believe it. And then you have this whole other faction of people doing weird stuff. Let it go. It'll die. Let it move on.
Well, that's a possibility. So hopefully.
Well, wait a minute. When was the last time you heard about Tylenol? Today. Today is Wednesday. They came out with it, Thursday. They came out with it like Monday or so. When was the last time you heard about somebody screaming and hollering and talking about, they had a couple doctors come on, they said, nope, don't listen, it's fine, and then it went away.
Yeah.
It literally rolled out of the news cycle because people went, that's another dumb thing. Next.
And the next dumb thing that's coming. Okay.
Correct.
Well, anyway, man, you have a good weekend, my brother.
All right, take care.
Stay away from that Tylenol.
Now, Vincent, I'm allergic to aspirin. I'm allergic to Bayer, all that. Only thing I can take is Tylenol.
Exactly.
So you're telling me I can't have no more kids?
I'm sorry, you can't have any more kids, man, because it might be,
Oh, stop.
The copulation,
I am not going to let you put that out
on something.
No, I'm not going to let you put that out there. I rebuke it. Anyway, all right, take care.
Take it easy, Doc.
All right. Woo! Lord have mercy. Vincent always make me laugh every time you call. 833-212-1017 is the number. Demetrius said comic books, newspapers. My mother subscribed to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. We had the Chicago Sun-Times and the Chicago Tribune. Chicago Tribune was written probably at a 9th or 10th grade reading level, and the Sun-Times was written at like a 5th grade reading level. So you got markedly different papers, like one for upper class, one for lower class. And then Tribune always put out an afternoon edition, just like the Sentinel was the afternoon paper and the Journal was the morning paper. I miss that in Milwaukee. I absolutely love that. Then those other people taking over, and everything just kind of went. Anyway. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here is Debbie Lazaga.
Well, we do have this debris eastbound 94 right about at 68th Street. The left lane is blocked. Not quite sure what the debris is, but we've got 3 cars pulled over with a squad off on the left shoulder. So give that a little bit of extra time there. It is slowing out of the Zoo interchange all the way through the stadium. The westbound side backing up from 17th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then from the Zoo all the way to Elm Grove Road. Southbound 43, we got some backups from Good Hope Road down to Bender, and then again from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette. And if the high-rise bridge starts to let up just a little bit at about Lincoln. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 57. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. You know, a lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
It's official. July 5th is Tory Lowe Day in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. I am humbled to receive this proclamation from the mayor's office and the county executive's office. To me, this day represents life and purpose and being driven by passion to serve and empower others. It's about being unselfish and answering the call to help those in need and living life with intention. Despite challenges and obstacles, I remain focused on creating real change in my community, county, and state. This recognition isn't about me. It's about the collective efforts of those who supported me along the way. It's about the resilience and determination that defines my journey. As we celebrate this day, I want to leave you with a challenge. What will you do to create positive change in your community? Will you get out and volunteer, mentor, or simply be a support to a friend? Whatever it is, I urge you to take action. Together we can build a brighter future, one that's filled with hope, opportunity, and empowerment. I am honored to serve, and I am grateful for this recognition. Let's continue to uplift and support one another, striving for a better tomorrow. So what does Tory Lowe Day mean to me? Let's make a difference together. Let's stay committed to our purpose and keep pushing forward even in the face of adversity. I'm excited to see the impact we can make, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve alongside such an amazing community. Now, my question is, what does Tory Lowe Day mean to you?
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Brewers snapped their road losing streak, beating the San Diego Padres Wednesday 3-1.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Brewers salvage a game out of this series, and they have tied a franchise record with their 96th win of the season.
The win also reduced the magic number to 1 over Philadelphia for clinching the best record in the majors and home field advantage throughout the postseason. The Brewers host their final regular season series against the Cincinnati Reds beginning tomorrow at 7:10 p.m. And tonight on Thursday Night Football, the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks travel to the 2-1 Arizona Cardinals. Kickoff is at 7:15 p.m. tonight on Amazon Prime. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. That's what happens when Kyle comes in and talks to me, and then I don't push him. But I'm blaming you, Kyle.
That's me. I was excited to say bye to Ken because he won't be here tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow. Will you be here tomorrow? You going to be doing your show at 12 noon?
I will be.
All right. You know my answer to that is, right? One of them days. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Yep. (833-212-1017) is the number. Black unemployment, or should I say black employment? I don't know which way.
Why do you go to work? Like, we talk about when you go to work and all that, and, you know, I mean, this is Milwaukee Black Talk, so we talk about things that how they impact the black community, things that happen in the black community, things like that. It's not a dismissal of white or Hispanic or Asian or Native American or Pacific Islander or whatever other communities there. We just lend more attention to the black community. Is that fair? Okay. So black employment, what is the one reason why you go to work? I'm interested in knowing. Because we seem to have this idea that the only reason to go to work is to make money, to have income. Or I got to pay my bills. But why do you go there? Why do you exist there? I mean, in the long run, depending on the type of business you work at, usually a for-profit business, you're there to bring value and make money so that you can in turn get paid, and those who invested in the business get paid more. We have this disconnected thing where we think we're just supposed to spread the money around without anybody having ever taken any risk. I should get it because you got it. Well, no. But rather than go down that road, I want to look at, why do you even go to work? Why do you bother to wake up in the morning? Hopefully you do. Take a shower, brush your teeth, take a bath, wash yourself up, and go to work. Why? Why do we do that? Why do you? 833-212-1017 is the number. Is it that you get something out of your work? Or, I don't know. I just have no idea. And it's bothered me for a while because of what I hear people saying and talking about as it relates to going to work. And I just wonder, like, is that why you go to work, just to make money so you can do whatever it is you want to do and then go back and repeat? You know, it's like living your life as a clothes washer. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, like over and over. But do you get anything out of it? Do you go in and you say, wow, I really helped somebody, or I did something? Or in other words, would you do it if you didn't get paid? See, one of the things I like to talk about in law enforcement is, would you do your job if you didn't get paid? Like right now, it is 41 minutes after the hour, September 25th, 2025. And if they said, hey, by the way, the world went on strike. The world stopped working. There's no more money. And we can't pay you, but we need police. We need fire. Would you go to work? Now, if I was working at a sales company, probably not. But with working in radio, would I come to Good Karma Brands and go, yep, I'm going to go? I might be able to get some information out to other people that can help them and help them live their life and be safe. But that's the same mentality in law enforcement or firefighting or public service, right? You're there to serve other people. So then for me, my job gave me a level of dignity so that I knew I was helping someone. But then I have to say, would I do it if I didn't get paid? Which then makes you start to question, how do you really feel about your employment? Dimitri says, some people do
believe it or not, some people actually like what they do, which would then be a career instead of a job. Well, we can call it a job. We can call it a career. We can call it a profession. We could do all that. But in the end, passion wanes. Passion is not always there. People are like, you got to be passionate about it. No. Because there's some days I'm not passionate about coming to Good Karma Brands and going on the radio because I don't feel good. I got something else I got to do. I got to interrupt my day and go, right? And so for that, when passion is gone, it comes down to commitment. Is this what you said you were going to do? And are you committed to doing it and trying to do and make today better than yesterday was? That's pretty much it. Every day. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter where you go. But for me, and I get what you're saying, Dimitri, but for me, it's not about passion. It's about being better today than I was yesterday. If I made $1 and it's flexible, or if I'm in sales, I just want to make one more than the year before. Like if I sold houses, right? If I was a salesman, if I sold 10 houses in 2024, in 2025, me winning is me selling 11. I did one more. I did better then than I did now. And over time, you may get to 2 extra houses and 4 extra houses and 8 extra. But I have to recognize that today, whether passion is there or not, I still got to get it done, still got to phone it in. Because at the base level, someone's paying you to do a job. Dimitri say, but it was something inside of you to make you come to Good Karma Brands. No, it wasn't. Something inside of me, there was no passion. I was already doing what they were already doing, so there was no but again, you can have passion for something and not want to do it. So then what is that if I don't have passion? Passion is like love. Passion is like emotions. Passion is like all that. Weather, it changes. And then what? So you have to have something in common. And that's what I'm asking. 833-212-1017. What is the common thing that you have that makes you wake up and do it every day? Does your job bring you, not what you bring to the job, does it bring you something like dignity, self-respect on top of the income? Quanda said, determined and dependable regardless of how yesterday was. Today and tomorrow are different days, so you definitely need passion. I don't know what passion is. Like, help me out with that. Because I love people that use passion, but describe it then. What is passion? It's an emotion, which has varying levels. So I'm not as good as you because I'm not as passionate as you? Is that what I'm hearing? I'm just saying. I don't know. I understand exactly what you're saying about passion. Passion does play a part in what you do. That is definitely true. However, 833-212-1017 is the number. I also had, where do you put leaves? Do you put them on the curb or do you put them in the street at the curb? See, I was always taught to put them, like if you have grass that goes all the way over to the curb, you put them on the curb and then the machine comes by, drives along, and just picks them up. That's what I was taught. I've seen people put leaves in the street and they never get picked up. So I don't know. I always thought about that. And also daylight savings time. Is it time we get rid of it? Like every year I ask the same question. Why do we have daylight savings time? Yes, I know the earth, the sun moves and all that. And I get it. I know why, but why? Why do we have to do it? Oh, to get dark. Well, so is it dark. You want more dark you want to be lighter at the beginning of your day or at the end of your day, right? Times get shorter, the sun moves closer to the equator, so you get darker sooner. Like all those things that play, but in the end, doesn't really matter. The sun come up, sun go down. I don't care how long it's here. Lets me know life is moving forward. Quanda say passion is the fire inside me, the drive that pushes me beyond tiredness, setbacks, or fear. Paycheck can do the same thing. I'm just saying, right? Paycheck can do the same thing. I need a definition of, not an example. You keep giving me examples. I want a definition. Passion isn't just what I love, it's what I refuse to give up on. I definitely don't have passion for my current work. That's what Curly Q said. But you keep giving me examples of passion. I want definition. Define it. And my whole point is that's why I question it, because it differs from person to person. It changes from person to person. It adjusts itself based on the person. And because of that, I think it's important that we remember that passion is great, but not everybody has the same level of passion. Are you better than me because I don't have the passion for it? But what if I have, what was the word I was looking for? Because I heard it the other day, and it made me go, oh, wow, that is definitely the word. When you have what's called a preternatural gift that you were born with, may it be looks or some physical talent, you can do some things without really thinking about it because you just have it. That becomes a burden too. So at some point, I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Somebody said I'm pessimistic. That's pessimistic? How am I pessimistic questioning your passion when you haven't even defined it yet? I'm still waiting. You can text me and tell me.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
I swear every time I come here and I say I'm not coming back the next day, it's breaking news from CNN. Former FBI Director James Comey has now been indicted by a federal grand jury. Comey, a longtime adversary of the president, is now the first senior government official to face federal charges in the 2016 investigation into his first presidential campaign of colluding with Russia. He's been indicted, but here's what people don't understand. It's by a grand jury. So they brought the evidence, and the federal grand jury indicted him for giving false statements and obstruction of justice. So there you have it. Breaking news. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show is coming. I will be back on Monday. I'm taking an extended weekend to relax, chill, have a great time. God bless. Take care. Thank you, X. Appreciate you. I'm out.
Be quiet.
Coming with straight truth.
And to make matters even worse, Truth Nation, when you look at more numbers, there have been 59 children shot in the city of Milwaukee, and 40 of